Hello, my name is Heitor Dellasta. I'm Policy Co-Coordinator for the Global Youth Biodiversity Network. Today was discussing on a side event on human rights-based approaches, the intergenerational equity dimension, and one of the aspects that we have touched upon was the equity between the present and older generations, which translates in the meaningful participation of young people in decision-making spaces. And when we think about the meaningful contribution, the meaningful means how young people are being provided with the resources, with the information to really be part and take part on the decision-making process regarding many of the decisions. So specifically here, we're talking about biodiversity decisions that will disproportionately impact their future. So I think this is one of the interesting things that our youth community organized as a network, and from the network we have collecting different perspectives, and all of these perspectives they are leading and showing a way that is really rooted in socio-ecological justice. And I think this is one of the dimensions that sometimes we are missing from many of the negotiations. So youth are bringing a values-driven perspective that otherwise will not be considering for a decision process. But so far, this is still a process more related with participate rather than ensure that the participation and their inputs and their contributions are being included. And once included, the next step is how to ensure that this is going to be implemented with the resources, adequate resources, both in terms of financial resources, but also non-financial ones, as capacity building and other related dimensions. So I really think that the point is bringing young people in an equally manner as also leaders into the process. So young people, they are already contributing directly with the biodiversity agenda. We are those who, of course, as I said, directly and disproportionately impacted future generations, but we are also key implementers already doing many of biodiversity related activities on the ground. And I think this is the reality that needs to be showcased. We need to connect more and more biodiversity global discussions with those who are already implementing and holding their rights on the ground to do so. Well, I think that the process now that you are is exactly understanding the global review of the KMGBF, so the middle stepstone from the KMGBF. And I think we are missing a central part that this KMGBF is aiming to halt and reverse biodiversity loss. But now we are having a more narrow approach to really extremely focus on the goals and targets. But we cannot miss the big picture that is we are here trying to deal with biodiversity loss, and deal with biodiversity loss mean dealing with those who are biodiversity destroyers, but also safeguarding those who are stewarding biodiversity on the ground, such as indigenous peoples, local communities, women and youth. So I think that this is the approach that I'm still hoping to see more in depth. Act in collective and join your networks.